Morning.
Morning. Are you still
Good
alive?
morning.
Well done. You know what? The boys were fantastic. Congratulations, Panther.
They were very, very good, MG.
Yeah, thank you, beautiful people. 28 points to 12, 18-0 at the half time. The game was over after 10 minutes. You could sense that Penrith had come to play big time. Moses Leota, James Fisher-Harris, Liam Martin. Their defence in that opening stanza were just electrifying. The Parramatta forwards, who is their strong point, they were folding. They didn't want to run the ball towards the end of that first half, and it was because of the massive defence of the Panthers.
I know.
How you going, Dale? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You got to give credit where credit's due. Panthers were undeniably the class act of the game, but you just got to feel for the boys. Like watching Brad Arthur walk onto the field afterwards. He'd look like Fred after he just stubbed his toe, but he didn't want to cry in front of his dad. You know, he looked devastated, but I'd like to say next year.
Yeah, you do. Like I was one of them blokes. In 1990, we lost the grand final, and it's the worst feeling. It is the worst feeling because you're so close to it. You can basically see the trophy on the sideline when you're playing, and you go, well, you know, that's ours. That could be ours, but unfortunately, there's got to be a loser, and
it's us.
You know,
what did we do wrong,
Penrith,
MG? What did we do wrong?
Well, I don't know. You look, it's always good to post-mortem stuff, and you can look at things in different ways. I suppose the fact that we spoke to Brad Arthur last week on Friday on the show, and I must confess that when he said that we're not treating this like any other game, we're just going to stay at home in our own beds, we're not going into camp, that kind of was a light bulb moment for me, which I thought, well, mate, this is another game. This is something special where you've got to be with the blokes who are about to run out in the battle for the last time this year, and you've got to kind of build it up to be something different, because in that opening 15, 20 minutes, that's when the game was lost. You could just feel this. You could sense it. When Toto scored that second try of the game, we went, oh, here we go. It's only 10 minutes into the game, and Parramatta's defence looks, you know, some startling facts coming out of it. I mean, I think about 10 players out of the Penrith team ran for over 100 metres, where hardly any, I don't think one Parramatta Eel ran for over 100 metres. It was just an old-fashioned ambush.
The biggest thing to come out of this, though, Jess, is that you lost the bet and you are getting a tattoo of MG on your ass.
Bottom.
There is
Jesus
no
Christ.
backing out.
What are the odds? I finally lost weight. I wore a G-string bikini at Whitsundays the other week, and now they've got a picture of your ass on my butt. I'm going to have to cover it up, or I'm going to look
No,
like
a picture of his
ass on your
face
bum.
on your ass.
But yeah, I'm going to look like a footy groupie. I'll be like, oh, I love you, MG. Here's your face on my ass.
We'll have to have a
wanna
chat to
make out.
Norm a bit later on this morning, because he's the one who's going to have to look at it. That is coming up. All right, into the grand final, MG. Of course, the Penrith Panthers won the big one on Sunday, but there is some talk about some of the behaviour of the players on social media and things. They're copping some criticism. Does that mar the win at all for you?
No, not one bit. Not one bit. This is what we're witnessing is very special. Penrith, in the first time in rugby league history, won the SG Ball, Jersey Flegg, New South Wales Cup in first grade. This club is a juggernaut at the moment, and I expect people from the outside to take barbs. It's only natural. I mean, this is a team that were on the field until 1:30 a.m. Then they got back to the Panthers at 2:30 a.m. to their adoring fans, and then straight into a press conference at Bluebet Stadium yesterday at 10 a.m. So, you know, you can forgive a couple of players if they've said something that, you know, maybe they would take back ordinarily, but I'm not holding any grudges against anything they say, and I note that there is, you know, some stuff said about them this morning. That's natural. I mean, you're going to have that with victory. You're going to have people saying disparaging things about this team, but whatever they say, they can't take the competition back from them.
Do you know what I find interesting? The people that bag the Penny Panthers, whether it was the Eels, whether it would be the Tigers, the people that bag these teams have probably acted far more despicably after a couple of drinks themselves. Like, man, if I won back-to-back grand finals, I would be a filthy wreck. I would lose my career in 10 minutes.
There is no doubt about that,
That's
Jessie,
what you're
mate.
allowed to do.
That's not
They're
a doubt,
human.
absolutely.
Why are we holding these people on such a high level that they can't even
the
enjoy
thing is,
themselves?
Jess, the thing is, if they said nothing to these players post-game, then we'd say, we need characters in the game. And then they say something, and we go, oh, no, they're grubs. Like, come on. Come on. The kids have just won a grand final. They've been out celebrating all night with no sleep. Don't hold them to the sword by what they say the next day. I mean, even Abby Coruscant with what he said about the Tigers, I mean, come on. He hasn't... You can't take things serious. The outrage is outrageous. As per usual. As per usual, the outrage is outrageous. I mean, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Panther. Honestly, the whole game needs to be celebrated because we just had a fantastic season. And and commiserations to Parramatta. They just on the night they just didn't show up. Unfortunately for them, the occasion got to them. You know, we spoke earlier about they didn't go into camp. They stayed in their own beds. They didn't travel to the game in a team bus. And all these things are little things that add up. That's honestly, you need to be around when I wake up on grand final day. First thing I want to see is my teammates, having breakfast together. And then all of a sudden the game is in your head. You go, okay, we're here to play. But Parramatta, they went the wrong way about it. Unfortunately for them, they tried, but everyone's saying their window's closed. No, it hasn't. No, because they're losing a couple of players, but they're gaining a couple of good players, and they'll be right. And don't worry, Para fans, they'll be right.
You don't know as well because, geez, they worked hard getting to where they got. I don't know if a bus ride at a breakfast would have been the difference. Like, they're tired. They fought like
right.
warriors to get where they got.
And the Panthers were red hot, MG. In fact, James Fisher-Harris has said that they are the greatest Penrith team of all time. Now, as a member of the 1991 Penrith Panthers, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they are. I mean, they've won back-to-back premierships. No other Penrith team has ever done it. I do know that, again, I'm not going to hold someone accountable who hasn't slept and they've got a microphone put in front of them the next day. It's just, if something's said down the track and it's disrespectful to anybody, well, then something will be said. But I don't think any ex-players from the 91 grand final team or the 2003 grand final team winning teams would have any, would take it seriously. Like, come on, statistically, this team is the best. They've won back-to-back grand finals. We beat a red-hot Canberra team. The 2003 beat a red-hot Roosters team. But we didn't do it back-to-back. This team did. So what he says is true.
I'll play it one more time for you. There you go.
I heard it.
See, I'm not even going to sing along. I might get in trouble.
That's the problem. And even the rivalry between Eels and Panthers that they're saying they spoke badly about the Eels. That's what we love about. That's the battle of the West.
That's rivalry.
We build it up. We build it up. When it happens, we want to tear it down, Buttercup. Come on.
8:06 Triple M Breakfast with MG, Jess and Pagey. This music means it's time for MG's Power Rankings, a daily top 5 list about anything. But I'm guessing it might have a grand final theme to it today, MG.
As per usual, you've guessed right. There were some moments that mattered in the grand final last Sunday, but I've come up with the top 5 moments that mattered for mine in the 2022 grand final where Penrith won pretty convincingly in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thrashing.
Absolute thrashing. God, I'm tipping this might be a fairly Panthers heavy power ranking.
Well,
that's the highlight.
Again, you and Paige are on the ball.
No flies on us.
After 10 minutes of a bash-up footy, which Moses Leoto probably dominated, that he was just folding Parramatta players. I've never seen him defend so unbelievably, and he's actually been good for the last 6 weeks. But the beneficiary of that was Stephen Crichton, who scored his second try in as many grand finals after last year's that intercept against South. But in the 10th minute, he opened the scoring.
Cleary runs at the line, gives it to Edwards, turns it on the inside, Crichton. Hello, Crichton away, beats one, beats another, goes for the line. That is a sensational grand final try. Stephen Crichton has scored a wonderful 4-pointer. Penrith, first try of the grand final.
Look, you got the feeling that Parramatta had to do something special. It was in about 28 minutes to go. Mike Acevo got the ball, and we thought, okay, here they come. They're on their way back. But unfortunately for Parramatta, he dropped the ball over the line.
As it comes to Mike Acevo on the wing, Acevo lost the ball. Mike Acevo loses the ball, and Penrith are so determined to keep a clean sheet. Acevo was home.
Oh, my goodness.
The wingers have one job, and that's to put the ball down.
Price, I know.
Now, yeah, he did all the hard work.
I know he did, mate.
He looks so sad. I just wanted to kiss Sevo on the forehead and make him.
He scores that try 99 times out of 100.
Poor
That's a comeback night. Look, if it hadn't been for another memorable moment that I'll get to in a minute, this guy would have been the Clive Churchill medalist. He ran for 300 metres, 2 tries, 3 line breaks, 9 tackle busts in a grand final. Well, speak of the little pool table with legs, Brian.
Coruscant floating to the open left. Oh, Cleary on to Luai, on to Tungo, gives it out to To'o. To'o for the line. To'o, I think he scores. To'o is too strong. To'o is over. Coruscant to Cleary. Cleary on to Luai. Luai to Tungo. Tungo to Brian To'o.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, this was the minute that's, I suppose, the moment that kind of clinched the proceedings for Penrith. They went up 28-0 in the 60th minute on the back of a Charlie Staines 4-pointer.
22-0, Yo to Cleary. Cleary runs it on. Gets it on Edwards, on Staines, and over he goes. Over he goes. He gets into a wrestle with Dylan Brown, but he fights his way to the line. It's a try. It's 26 points to 0.
Well, just moments after Sevo dropped that ball over the line, Reid Marnie put a grubber kick through, and all of a sudden he was in open space, Bailey Simonson. Then across came Dylan Edwards, which brought back memories of Scott Sattler's try in the 2003 grand final. Dylan Edwards, the Clive Churchill medalist.
Marnie, little grubber from inside his 20. It's brilliantly taken here by Dylan Brown. He's away, beats one, beats another, and now chopped down. It's Dylan Edwards on Bailey Simonson. Wow. It's Scott Sattler stuff. It's Scott Sattler on John Byrne.
And that's the biggest celebration we've seen from the Penrith players all evening. That is sensational stuff from Dylan Edwards. But what about what it means to them?
Big moment. There you go. And well done to Dan Ganane and the team on a great call as well of the grand final. Nice work, fellas. After the grand final, a special end-of-season edition of Golden Points with MG, and it's all questions from our wonderful listeners on the socials. We'll kick it off with Daniel, MG, who says, what team for you was the most disappointing this year, MG?
It's probably a draw between the Gold Coast Titans, who finished 7th last year. They ended up finishing 13th. I think Newcastle Knights as well. A lot was expected from Newcastle, but to finish 14th and the way their season panned out was very disappointing.
Liz said, has Nathan Cleary now gone beyond Thurston and Joey at only 24 years of age?
Oh, geez, I don't think, not yet. No, not yet he hasn't, because they both dominated with a green and gold jersey on. Nathan has dominated at origin level and at club level, but he's chasing them hard. He's on their, he's right on their heels. He's such a fantastic rugby league player. At age 24, it's almost scary to think that he's going to have 10 to 11 years in this competition. My goodness.
Xander must be an Eels fan because he's already looking ahead to next season. He's put that season behind us. Xander says, which team do you think will surprise everyone in 2023?
Look, I am on medication, so when I say this team, you just bear with me. I think the Tigers.
I was going to say the same thing, Tigers.
I think the Tigers.
Yep.
I think Happy Coruscant and Papali'i going there with the. I think it'll just Luke Brooks. Benji Marshall's there with Tim Sheens. I think it's going to be a big overhaul. I don't think they'll make the 8, the Tigers, but I think they'll be thereabouts. I think they're going to have a good year.
And if it doesn't happen, you can blame the Endone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? I should take head done every day, and then I'd be like, wasn't me. Okay, so Corey said, MG, who will be the player of the World Cup?
Oh, good question. I think someone like a Matt Burton is going to surprise everybody. I think Matt Burton in that prestigious company will go next level. I mean, this year, going to the Bulldogs, everyone thought that him and the Fox and etc. Their rep careers are over, but now they're both on the plane on Thursday to go to the World Cup, and I think Matt Burton will probably get this. The centres will probably be Whiten and Latrell, but I think Matty Burton will be pressing. I think he's going to have a really good World Cup. Okay,
Robbie, I think another Eels fan, because he just wants to change the subject. What's your go-to meal at the footy, MG? Pie, sausage roll, hot dog, hot chips? What do you like?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
All of them. I probably have a pie and a sausage roll and a hot chips at the same time. Beautiful. And hot dogs. I'm not a hot dog eater mostly, so that's out of the equation. But that would be a pie, sausage roll, hot chips, and a nice cold beer. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd like to see all-you-can-eat buffets brought into the stadiums. That'd be nice, just like big
There
Bay
you go.
Maries.
Write that on your list. There's another thing to bring into the psyche of everyone else.
When I had to
Your
talk to
ideas.
Peter Volandis. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Leanne wants to know, what's your opinion on the changes to Junior Rugby League? No finals or grand finals until under 13s.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't read much on this, so I'm just going basically on what Leanne is saying to us, that no finals or grand finals till under 13s. I don't know how I feel about that. I think some of my best memories of playing junior sport were playing semi-finals and finals for my local footy teams. I don't know the rationale behind it, but I will try and have a more definitive answer for you tomorrow, Leanne. But at the moment, I don't see why you would want to change it. What
I'm so confused.
What does winning competitions as a junior mean to anyone who's I don't know. I'm scratching my head just trying to think about it at the moment.
Currently with a son that's 8 years old playing competition, soccer and footy, he loves it. And it gives him the thirst to strive for something. And I've never seen, and I don't know where this is coming from, like I've never seen people, who are murderers or who have done horrendous things and have blamed, oh, I'm so sorry, Your Honour, I played in the grand final when I was 11. Like I just... Like, I get that there's,
right.
there's repression with sexuality and that causes an effect. There's this and that causes an effect. But I've never seen the pandemic that is killing our adults because we played in the semi-finals.
I lost the under
12s.
9s. I had to kill that hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's MG's golden points. It's thanks to Bluebet. Download
Thanks
the
for your
Bluebet
questions.
app.